Alrighty, I'm going to do this video a little bit different. Instead of uploading 15, I'm just going to make one and then kind of talk about what we're seeing in some of the videos. I want to start out with this Sharapova video just to kind of show you. I know your coach was giving you shit about your leg coming up, and I want to show you that that happens on a pro level, and there's nothing wrong with doing that, so you shouldn't be too concerned when you're hearing that type of information. But here you can see, especially in this shot, where her leg kind of comes up after hitting. And that's just from a hip rotation. That is not anything you should be concerned about. Sharapova is one of the best players of all time. If she's doing it, then I wouldn't be listening to someone telling you not to do that. All right. So let's start with your forehand here. And this is one of the better ones I saw while we were hitting. Pretty textbook, but there's a few things I want you to focus on so we can mimic this as much as possible. All right, so there it is again. Let it play a couple times here so you can see it. Good. Again, good. Now let's look at it in slow motion here so we can kind of break down the steps. Why this is a good forehand, why we want to mimic it, why we want to keep doing this. And the first thing is that split step. I mean, that is so crucial. And so many people don't do that. And the fact that you're naturally doing that is a very good thing. And then from here, we're getting a good shoulder turn, getting set for the ball. And this is what I wanted to focus on while we're playing or practicing and doing this more, is getting this correct distance here. You're not too close to the ball. You're not too far away. You're in that perfect position. And that started with the initial footwork here, getting around on the ball. Now let's keep going here and look at this right. This where the racket is here, and the wrist is perfect, perfect. Okay, and then we come in to the contact point. The hips are rotating through at the correct time, and we got a good fall through there. I mean, that is where we need to be on the forehand, and that's what we want to try to mimic it on every single shot. Now, it's going to take more effort to do that. We can't really stand still as much, but you know, that is where it needs to be. And then right back to ready position. That's perfect. Let's watch it one more time here. Good split step. Good turn. Now, the only thing that I would complain about, and it's not that big of a deal, and it's something that we can work on, is the bigger backswing. And we've talked about this before, where you know, if we're playing against bigger hitters, we might want to shorten the backswing up a little bit. But you know, if you're timing the ball correctly and moving well, we can get away with it. But you know, in the future, we might want to kind of think about this a little bit. But once we get out of that big backswing, I mean, everything else just falls right into place here. So that is a very well struck forehand. That's what you're capable of. That's what we want to do, you know, on every single shot, really. Again, perfect distance. This is key, the distance. Distance between you and the ball. And we get that correct, right in the middle of the strings. Good net clearance there, driving through the shot. That ball is well struck. And here are your forehand drills. I just want you to notice a couple things. Where the position the feet are in, okay, because I'm feeding most of these balls short here, and making sure we're stepping in when it's short. Now, I know we talked about the open stance. We want to hit out of that, okay? But when the ball is shorter, we want to make sure we're getting the body forward as much as we can here. And you do that pretty well on most of these. So a good step there in. Yeah, nice shot. Even there, open stance, but you were moving forward. That was good. Again, we just this repetition here. I'm getting the ball in the right spot every time, getting set, and every time you turn and get around and get the distance correct, the forehand's perfect. And every time we miss hit, the ball is a little bit too close to the body. So that's something we definitely want to kind of stay focused on in our practices from here on out. All right, let's take a look at the backhand here. Good, very simple technique. That's what we want. I would say the same thing on this side. We need to get the correct distance. Sometimes we're a little bit too close to the body or too far away. And that really starts with what's happening with the legs here. If we get like that one, if we really kind of get set, we're getting a much better contact point When we don't get set, we might be too close to the body, but definitely step in really well on the backhand. I think this side, we just need to hit a lot of repetition. I mean, technically it's there, so it's a good shot. Nice backhand there. If this were me, and I was able to hit the ball like this, which I can, I would be doubling down, tripling down on how much you're focusing on your tennis. I mean, even if you just plan on playing for 2 years, do the most you can in the 2 years. Maybe in the future you want to play more, maybe not, but I mean, just you don't want to 4, 5, 6 years from now think back of what if I'd have done more, what if I'd have played more, because really there's 5 things that make a good female tennis player. One of them is being a good serve or the potential for a good serve, athleticism, power, and competitiveness, and then the 5th thing being court time, work ethic, that type of thing, what you're doing off court, training, all that. And you've got the power, you've got the serve, you've got the athleticism, you've got the competitiveness, and that's probably the biggest one is the competitiveness that most people naturally don't have that you do. So, I mean, everything's here to be a good player or to be a better player, to be as good as you want to be. So